What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and today we got to talk about Stephen A. Smith a little bit and the comments he made about BET celebrating OJ Simpson. Giving him a tribute when they were talking about Black excellence who passed away this last year. And Stephen A. came out and said some things. We all saw Faizon Love come back at Stephen A. Smith really hard. We're going to look at Stephen A. Smith's response to that. And also Willie D. We're going to show Willie D first because Willie D, responded when Faizon did, and he had some things to say about why OJ is viewed the way he's viewed. Stephen A. Smith was not happy about the backlash he received, and also Cam, went on It Is What It Is page and responded to Stephen A. Smith, and we're going to look at that last. Now, as you all know, OJ Simpson landed a job with It Is What It Is and was able to articulate the sport that he loved in such a way, that I really went to their show to hear about football takes because OJ speaks so eloquently when describing the game. It is just really beautiful to hear because when you go to these other shows, you don't get to digest it the way that OJ is able to present it to you, and he can pull from Jim Brown. He can talk about Saquon Barkley and everything in between. And he does it in a great way where you have a better understanding of the game after hearing him talk. Now, we all know why OJ is infamous, the way he kind of separated himself from the black community. And then he went into that, was looking for the support. And, it was kind of funny at one time with OJ Simpson, right? Not the trial itself, but just the way people felt about him. It was like people were rooting for him to get off, but they had remembered, how he kind of had separated himself from the black community. So, without further ado, man, we're going to listen to what Willie D had to say, Stephen A. Smith's response, and then we're going to talk about what Camron said. Let's peep.
The only reason they feel the way that they feel about OJ is because OJ is a black man. One of the very few in the history of this country who was accused of killing white people and got off. That's what this is really about. That's right. That's what this is really about. Because there have been a whole lot of white people who have killed white people in this country and got off. And they've never had that same energy for those people. You know what they say? Well, I believe he was guilty. A jury of his peers acquitted him. They saw it differently, and we just have to respect the jury's decision. Our system is not perfect, but it's the only system that we have. That's what they say. But for some reason, they can't let it go. It's OJ. They can't let it go for some reason. And they have these stooges like Half Stephen from Django Smith, perched up to do their work. They put them on national TV. They put them on these big stages where they can have a big audience, where their words can have some influence. And they use these little monkeys like Stephen A. Smith to say the things that they can't say publicly. Oh, they definitely say it in private, but they can't say it publicly because they would be called the racist that they are.
So that was Willie D's response to Stephen A. Smith and his initial statements. Now, Stephen A. caught wind of that and what Faizon said, and he responded, and this is what he had to say.
Faizon, God forbid, what if you passed away? Do I want you mentioned in the same breath as somebody who's widely considered to be an individual that got away with double murder? I didn't sit up there and say crucify the man. I didn't say talk about him like he's garbage. I didn't say any of those things. What I said is he doesn't need to be honored. He doesn't need to be mentioned in memoriam with other people who weren't accused of what he was accused of. And for that, I'm getting all of that. And on top of it all, where do they find you? Where do they make you? So now my blackness comes into play. So let me get this straight. I'm a sellout. I'm a no good you know what. But the dude that was accused of double murder, which by the way, wasn't my major point. My major point was he didn't want any association with black people until he was indicted on double murder charges. He didn't give a shit about us. I'm not black, I'm OJ. He said that. Jay-Z got it on the 444 album. What are you talking about? I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. We all know it. You in an uproar? All caught up in your feelings? You're supposed to be a funny man. You're supposed to be making people laugh. You're supposed to be sitting up there and entertaining us and all of this stuff. And you got your face all cringed up, looking like you ready to go ballistic over OJ? OJ? That's what? That's what got you all ruffled? OJ. That's what you want to stand on. You want to stick up for OJ. You know, so Willie D and I probably never speak in life, and that's cool. Don't know him, never met him. If I did, I'm sorry, I don't recall. Stooge, that's one of the names you called me. You called me a monkey. If you're wondering why I closed my eyes just now, it's because I did a quick prayer and I get in your ass.
Let's pretend for a moment that was me. Let's pretend for a moment that I did want you to be scared of me. I know for a fact I would mop the floor up with your ass. I know that for a fact. And I think you know it too. Because I got that get down in me, partner. I got that don't quit in me. I got that don't lose in me. Way too much pride. Way too much. And look, front, homie, look. I seen your boxing skills. We seen your boxing skills. Anybody ain't seen it? Look it up right quick. Stephen A. Smith boxing or something like that. Stephen A. Smith punching bag or something. And you'll see the punching bag was punching him. Boy don't know a left hook from a fish hook. And I'm surprised.
Yeah, man. So Willie D responded, and he talked about Stephen A. Smith's boxing skills. We all seen that video. Now, Stephen A. said his shoulder was hurting. He was doing rehab, but whatever the case, you know, that didn't look too good. Didn't look like a formidable opponent, you know, standing across from you swinging like that. Just looked like a guy who talks a lot. And Willie D, we've seen Willie D fight, and Willie D can fight. You know, Willie D got hands, and I wouldn't wish that on Stephen A. Smith because that would get embarrassing pretty quick for him. You know, Willie D is one of the guys who can really fight. But we got Camron responding, and he said, y'all know, long as we here, it will be no Uncle O slander. We ain't tolerating that at all. And then, you know, a bunch of hashtags with the juice. We say what the F we want, you know, and that's kind of been their motto. And I appreciate Camron sticking up for OJ Simpson. He even, you know, asked him how he felt about that Jay-Z lyric on the song and all that, you know, where people are scared to ask questions about Jay-Z for some odd reason. People just want to be in the good graces of another man. And Cameron's like, no, you know what, how did you feel about that song? And people will never address that elephant in the room. You know what I'm saying? Because they're scared that a man will blackball. It's just weird. But, you know, so Camron, he's sticking up for OJ Simpson. And, hey, you know, he's a part of our brand. When you're talking down on him, you're kind of talking about us, you know, allowing him to come and be on the platform. So I appreciate Camron going to bat for a guy that they brought in. And Stephen A has been on the show. You know, he was on their show when it was relatively new, and I'm sure that him and Cam will probably speak again. But Stephen A, you have your opinion, and there's nothing wrong with your opinion on your podcast. You know, you put in all this work to be able to build your platform up, independent of ESPN, and say what you want. I would never even try to critique a man for saying what he want to say. What I will say is it's open to public forum and public interpretation, and based off of your track record in the past, people may think you have a motive against black people just based off of some of the things you did with Kwame Brown and others over the years when you were on ESPN, and the people that were voiceless once upon a time and just kind of had to go with the narratives that was put out by them, put out about them by the media. They kind of just had to roll with the punches. They can clap right back right now. And I don't think many journalists are as used to that, you know, and having to form their words under careful construction, because now you're finding out a lot of these people can roast back, or they can talk with you, and they can talk to you on an intellectual level, and it's sometimes even exceeding yours, and they can answer right back. They can just open their phone up, sit in front of the camera, and really give their side of the story in real time. And that doesn't allow you to take a narrative, run with it for days, weeks, months, and years without any type of rebuttal from the source. And that makes it hard to just kind of stick, you know, with what you're saying, because there's two sides to a story. And I think journalists have to realize that. So now you're going to have to really say things, and not just for shock value, or not in a shocking way. It has to have substance, because it can be easily refuted or challenged at the very least. It could even be true sometimes what you're saying, but it can be challenged right away. And I'm a fan of it, you know, today, that people have a voice, because some of these things have ruined careers, lives, marriages, you name it. And I ain't just saying Stephen A. Smith. I'm talking about journalists and, you know, just in general. And so that's all I want to say about this, man. Let me know what you think in the comments, though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.